not be sheltering a blatant human rights violation. And because of that, we're very proud to stand here as the proposition team of the day. So, three things that I'm going to be doing this today. Firstly, contextualization about how to look like our startup house. Secondly, about principal argument. Thirdly, about practical argument, which I'll be engaging further later. So firstly, let's contextualize what Asian is. So Asian is a group of countries in the Southeast Asia in order to do trades, in order of diplomatic orders, and etc. And it means that if you're in Asian and Western countries or other countries wants to attack you, that means that it's our responsibility to take care and to protect one another. But we'll engage on that later in our arguments, how is it going to actually support and defend our case. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our principal arguments. A state that is actively doing atrocities should never be supported in any way that they're trying to perform. Those who believe that if we want to revoke Myanmar, it's going to send an actual message to the region, to the junta, that what they have been doing is wrong. We don't want to deal with them in the Asian, and it doesn't mean that we don't care about their citizens, which in the current status quo, they're still suffering, and because the government is really killing people and stuff like that, we still are going to help them to flee the country by simply just opening the borders for the people who's actually been exacerbating the conditions in the current status quo. And even if we're trying to supply, even if we're trying to support aids and help for them through the Asian, which it will be distributed to the people, to the citizens of the country by the government, we don't see that there is a guarantee that these kinds of aid will be evenly distributed to the people in the country. We know that the junta military would use it to continue their region, to funding their military programs, to kill the people, to behead people in the streets, and stuff like that. And because simply their main focus is to take over the country, and that they don't care about the people, the citizens in their country. They don't care if they're suffering, if they neglect what's really happening. So we don't see the benefits coming if we still accept Myanmar and do nothing to send a message to them. And these kinds of aids will never really help. These kinds of, will never really distribute it to the people. Because now, as you can see, there is no hope for the people coming from the junta, because the only thing that they're doing is just harming the citizens over and over. They're trying to killing it. And if we still choose to stand to let them sit in the Asian, that means that we're going to distribute the aid through the Asian, which means that it's going to be distributed by the government. And because we see that the government itself is killing people, we don't see any visibility of those kind of things will be distributed evenly and thoroughly through the country, and there's no benefits that is going to come from it. But secondly, why do we think it's against Asian? Principally, Asian wants peace and equal rights for all. It has clearly said in our stance, Asian wants a peace. Asian wants the country who's engaging in it to be to protect their citizens of the country. It's like the bare minimum for the countries who actually engaging in Asian league to do. And if we let them proceed with the Asian, the world is going to think that Asian stands for the atrocities, because simply it's them being a part of Asian as a whole. And in the rest of the house, it's going to cause people to think that we're actually supporting it while we don't. And that's why we think that it's important for us to revoke the Myanmar itself, because we don't see that there's any benefits if we just let them sit, and people are gonna think that we support them, and well, it's not what's really happening with Asian, and Asian actually supports peace for all. And what's important, everyone? It sparks an action to other countries. It sends a message that what junta is doing so bad has been a really bad thing, that Asian finally revoked one of their members. And second thing, it sends a message that their suffering is true, that their country has been doing what's so-called as totalitarian. And if suddenly Myanmar is being revoked, simply the countries with an actual big impact to the world, to the economies, to the UN, doesn't want to trade off with Myanmar, because they don't want to be seen as a country who's actively trading their economics with Myanmar, the one who's been actively killing people. And thirdly, people will see that their government is bad and realize that the international community recognizes their cause and support them if they want to revoke. And we think that it's bad for Myanmar to be an Asian, because other countries still see them as an ally for Asian. So no countries, especially the Asian, will have the actual access to like condemn it for what they have been doing. For example, like if they still stay in the Asian, then Indonesia is gonna think that, oh, they're our brother, and so is Malaysia, and so is Brunei Darussalam, because they're still part of Asian. And we think that because of that, these countries would not have the audacity to like actually condemning about hey, what you've been doing is really good, and it's really bad, because these countries will view them as a brother, and if we just like revoke them from being a part of Asia, then that means that these countries will think that finally I have the right to like actually say about what's really happening and why is that bad for the people in Myanmar. And why is that bad under this side of the house? Countries will stay silent. There is no and under this side of the house, countries will stay silent because again, there is no such like awareness being raised to the people, because Asian is simply doing nothing, and the aid that's been distributing will never raise an awareness to the people, because it only reaches the people itself, and there is no news covering, like the revocation of Myanmar from Asia and stuff like that, and if it's happening, it's going to cause no awareness, and we don't see it coming in their side of the house. Secondly, Asian will be known as something that supports atrocities. Again, because Asians choose to do nothing in their side of the house, the other countries who's actually having the power will see them as an elite who's actually support killing people, and we think that it's a very bad thing that is going to be caused in their side of the house, because they choose to silence and only giving the people aids without actually trying to condemn that one thing that the junta military has been doing is really it has been affecting the citizens of the country in a bad way. And thirdly, it will never change anything to the Myanmar citizens. Because why? Again, the aid that they're trying to distribute, if they choose Asian for like letting Myanmar to say, it's not going to be distributed mainly and thoroughly, and there's no change coming for the citizens itself, because simply the citizens won't be affected by those kind of aids, and simply the money that the government receives is going to be allocated for their military funds for them to like actually showing their powers to the world without actually caring for the dying people in the country. And in fact, more people are going to be dying. This is so important because it doesn't give any basic message to the government, and there's no sense of realization that the junta military has been doing so many bad things, and because of this kind of thing will never do anything to the citizens, and will never send any message to the whole other side of the house. Because from the reasons above, we're very proud to propose. Thank you.